Well, welcome this evening to a Celina Board of Education meeting. We are gathered Monday, April 19th, 6 p.m. in the high school lecture hall. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purposes of conducting school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. I want to call the meeting to order and ask that all who are able please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we'll have the roll call.
Mr. Flack?
Here.
Mr. Sell?
Here.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Here.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Here.
Mr. Huber?
Here. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to set the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Sell?
I'll second.
Mr. Huber. I do have one addition I would like to add under number, that would be 7, just to talk about the city liaison position. No action would be needed, just a discussion about it. So that would be under other business by board administration, just the city liaison position. Any other additions by the board? Dr. Ken, anything?
We would need to take roll for the setting of the agenda.
Yep. Any other? Okay, go ahead and take the roll.
Mr. Sell?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Yes.
Mr. Flack?
Yes. Okay, the agenda's set. At this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Ken. We have several guests and folks who are grateful to be with us this evening. So, Dr. Ken, why don't you take that?
Yes, first we have Representative Susan Manchester with us. She is here to present the District Award, the 2020 Outstanding School District this year. That is presented by OLAC and BASA, Ohio Leadership Advisory Council, and the Buckeye Association of School Administrators. Thank you, Mrs. Manchester, if you want to step up to the podium.
Well, thank you, Dr. Schmiesing, and thank you to the school board members. And I really just want to express my gratitude for all of the hard work and dedication that you've put into this school district over the past year. You guys have been faced with some extreme challenges, and I'm just so grateful that you have committed yourselves to getting kids in school all year long. So thank you for your hard work on that. And I am extremely proud to present you with this commendation on behalf of the Ohio House of Representatives, signed by myself and Speaker Bob Cupp, for getting the 2020 Outstanding District Award by the Ohio Leadership Advisory Council and the Buckeye Association of School Administrators. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
If I could have all the administrators come up on stage, please.
I know you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you.
We did receive a trophy from BASA and OLAC as well. Come.
Fully on up. I don't need my fat head in the back.
Oh, I got it.
Wonderful. Thank
Fantastic.
you very much.
Congratulations.
We know you're very busy, Representative Manchester, so we just want to say thank you for coming in. On a personal note, I will just say when the COVID crisis went down, being a pastor, we had no idea what was going on. I called Representative Manchester's office and she personally called me back within a day. And it's that kind of appreciation that your constituents we really appreciate that kind of detailed care for our district. So thank you for being with us tonight. We know you're very busy, you're probably going a million other places, but we do want to say thank you for being with us tonight.
And I'm not even a pastor, and I called you, you called me back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Have a good one.
Dr. Kennedy, you want to recognize Mr. Hittner?
Certainly. This past week, I received a phone call from Mr. Hittner, and I said, hey, I think this is something that we probably want to put out in front of the public. So I invited Bob to come here this evening. So Bob, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium and share your news with all of us.
As Representative Manchester said, it's been a challenging year, and on behalf of the Community Sports and Therapy Center, the company that I represent, and Mercer Health, who are our partners in healthcare in the Mercer County area, we would like to completely eliminate any fees to Celina schools for athletic training services for the upcoming school year. It's been a shared expense between Mercer Health, Community Sports and Therapy Center, and some billing that we sent to you. And this will completely be without fees. Hopefully will help offset some of the lack of gate receipts that you've had the past year, and just help in general. Mercer Health and my company want to continue to show the value of our relationship with the Celina schools and your students, and we would like to continue that relationship. It's been approaching 20 years now that we've been the provider of trainer services here for the Celina School District, and we're very proud to work with your students and your staff and your coaches and the athletic teams. You're very great to work with, and we enjoy the opportunity to be with you, so thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
I have another engagement, so I've got
Yes.
Sorry.
We did have Jeff Forkamp here too. Wanted to make sure Jeff got a chance to shake your hand. And Bob, not only do you provide trainers, you provide some of the best trainers for us. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
And did you want to just say real quick, Tom, we were just talking, just to give folks a scale of how much lost gate revenue COVID caused the district? Or
We're about $150,000 in lost receipts from gates and season tickets, both basketball and football. So, and pretty much our expenses have almost stayed the same, because you still have game officials, you still have the game workers, you still have the travel, you still have coaches, so this is a huge help for next year going forward.
Great, certainly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted folks at home, I don't think that they would quite have a scope of Celina. If you would have just asked me, I would have said, well, maybe $10,000 or $20,000, you'd be down. $150,000 is an incredible sum of money. So, Mr. Hibbner, your generosity is so very well received. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. At this time, we have Ms. Watson, a presentation on esports, my favorite sport happening in Celina schools.
Before Tess comes up, though, we're going to do a little pause and go back to the OLAC award. We have a video, actually, that'll be showing here.
I'm sorry?
So let me kick that into gear.
Most important.
You want to head out and sit? Might be easier to see that.
Not your area, no.
Dr. Ken, it looks like that computer is muted down in the corner.
And the staff for that matter, but the students have really dug in and taken a grasp of ACL and all the other identities and things that we've done here at Celina City Schools, and has led to a big achievement, a lot of success, and our scores and data will prove that these kids have really dug in and done a great job.
Teachers, this award is because of your dedication and just trying your best to put forth what we as a DLT team are asking the BLT teams to do and asking to the TB teams. And you're doing your best, like you do each and every day, to do what's best for our students. So thank you.
A quick thank you to our staff for really working hard to get ACL implemented in our school. Thank you to Vaughn Ray, our superintendent, and our entire district that's working hard to make this a successful implementation in our teaching.
What it took to get to this point, I think, for teachers understanding the steps that needed to be taken to reach a goal. And so I think that where we are now is having our students do the same thing that we've done. I think our students really understand the goals, the objectives, the point of each lesson. And now the next step is helping students understand how to identify the steps that it takes to get there, so that they will know when they have achieved success.
When our students truly know what is expected of them, they will tend to rise to meet those expectations. With our Be a Bulldog and ACL initiatives, we as a staff are setting clear expectations and learning goals. Our students want to meet their goals and expectations. They are safe, respectful, responsible, and they are here. That is what it means to be a Bulldog.
ACL has been an awesome attribute to our district. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort over many years to bring that to our school district. But on the opposite end, what we've instituted this year is our Be a Bulldog mentality. It's a conscious effort to identify and practice wonderful behaviors, student behaviors from our kids. I just don't think we could ever envision that it would have been this successful.
When we were presented with this award back in December, we were all interviewed to talk about what makes Celina special. And one of the questions that was asked to us during the interviews was, how do you get teachers to feel comfortable to let cameras come inside the classroom? How do you get teachers to volunteer and wanting to be a part of all the special and unique things that you're doing in Celina? And an answer that came out from us was, we have the right people at the right time. Not everybody wants to have cameras in their classrooms, but we're fortunate in Celina to where our teachers are all about helping people get better. They trust the process and want to see our students and our staff members grow.
Practicing the ACL philosophy in my classroom has had its challenges, but it has made me realize as a teacher that these young kids can say what they're learning, and I can tell them what we're learning and why we're learning it, and when I keep verbalizing that and showing them, then they can recite that and know what they're doing.
The last few years, the district administrators and the building principals, we've been involved in the OIP process, the Ohio Improvement process. In that process, we also attended the OVAC conference, and they do highlight the districts that they feel are really shining bright and doing great things for their students. We were very honored to win that award this year, and we're very proud of all the hard work that went into that.
I'm excited to watch ACL grow and as it continues to improve within our district. And I think it'll make a huge difference for our students and for everyone involved.
Biggest positive that I've seen with the ACL is it really got me looking into my learning standards at the state district. So once I get those learning standards and learning targets, I put those on slides and have the success criteria. So it really helped me dissect my standards.
Students come in every day, aware of what we are learning through our learning targets, able to discuss that as a team, and able to figure out how they're going to get there and how we are going to master these learning targets. And it's really became an emphasis in this classroom of, we will get this together instead of I doing it for them or I doing it myself. It's become more of a team effort with ACL.
Even though the school district won this award, the educators here and all the administrators, we know we can't do this alone. So I want to say thank you to all the students that put in all the hours of hard work, and thank you to the parents who support the school district and support their students. Without everybody's cooperation, we wouldn't be the success that we are today. So thank you so much.
I'd like to say thank you again to the Board of Education, all the district administration, our building principals, our staff, our students, our parents, and all of our community members. What we have going on in Celina isn't something that's going to stop. It's something that's going to keep going. This award is hopefully the first of many milestones that we're going to achieve on our journey. So thank you to everyone for making this special.
One thing we wanted to shout out there for the community as well, for all those watching. Many times you hear ACL, that's second nature to us. That's why we don't say the whole thing out. But that does stand for Assessment Capable Learners. So much of the learning we are turning over to the students, having them become part of the process. Again, Assessment Capable Learners, that's ACL. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, cool. I am Tess Watson, and I'm the coach of Celina Bulldog Esports. And this is our first season, and I wanted to come and share with all of you what we've been doing. Some really awesome things are happening in our lab, so I wanted to come and share. So thank you for giving me the chance to come talk about it. So I have some pictures and kind of some slides as we go through, just because it helps me collect my thoughts. So if you're sitting here wondering what in the world are esports, esports are just electronic sports. They are electronic games of skill that we play competitively. You can do it individually or as a team. We obviously are a team. And this is something that has been growing in popularity in the last few years, and it's really taken off with our students. It's something that they watch in their free time. It's something that they are participating in their free time, and so we're going to meet them where they're at and bring them into our lab and have them do it here where they can be part of the school team. So our goals for esports. It provides an opportunity for our students to represent Celina High School and kids who might not be representing Celina High School anywhere else. They might not be interested in band or traditional athletics, but it gives them a place where they can represent the high school. It creates a positive gaming culture. Sometimes there's a lot of toxicity with video games, but when they're doing it in the school gaming lab and they're participating against other high schools, it's someplace safe to game. It prepares them for college level competition, which sounds crazy, but there are a lot of colleges that have esports programs. And some of those colleges give scholarships, so it's a great opportunity for our students. It increases extracurricular activity. Where we see a lot of sports and clubs with dwindling numbers, esports is growing. So it's a new opportunity, and the kids are really excited about it. In terms of social skills, it's really awesome because we have some kids who maybe don't have a lot of friends, but in the esports lab, they're talking to every other kid, just like the rest of them. You would never know that in the hallway they might not have a lot of friends, because in the lab, they're everybody's friend. So again, it reaches the whole student population. We're meeting with students where they are, and it's giving our kids an opportunity to get the same skills they would get from traditional sports. They're learning teamwork, they're learning communication, they're learning leadership, just in a new format. So again, same thing, they're learning all of these skills, and they're doing it here with us. So again, just to mention the colleges that are involved here, these are just a few from the state of Ohio. You'll see some familiar names there, OSU, ONU, Miami. Some big schools have programs, and they're giving scholarship money out to kids. And they're actively recruiting, actually, since we started this program back in, we got off the ground in January. I've had at least 3 colleges reach out that they want to do presentations and try to recruit our kids. So they're looking for kids to go to their school.
How many kids participate?
Right now we have 17, 18, 19, it keeps growing. We keep having kids that go, hey, I want to get in on this.
2 or 3 nights a week after school?
Yep, 2 nights a week. Yep.
And how do you come up with the game?
Well, it's all set by Esports Ohio. So Esports Ohio is the league. It's totally free to participate in. And they set the games. They have to be rated teen or below, so friendly games for teenagers, nothing too violent or graphic.
So what's the most popular one that they compete in?
Right now it's Overwatch. We have 10 11 kids on our Overwatch team, and we only need 6, so it's pretty well populated. Yeah.
How many teams do
We-
you play against?
We play 7 weeks of competition. There are, over 200 teams in the league though, so lots of school districts are represented. That's what I had up here, that every WBL school has a team other than Van Wert, and other local schools are Coldwater, Crestview, Spencerville, St. Henry, New Knoxville. Lots of schools around the area have them, and very competitive.
So I envision this as a varsity sport with leather jackets.
Not yet, we're just a club for now. Maybe one day, but that's, right now we're enjoying our status, it's just a club, yeah. I don't know.
Do you, as kids want to become a partner with you, then, do they just come to you and ask, or do they have to go on like a waiting list? Do you have to check their?
We had meetings to start, and so we had everyone kind of come and get the idea of what it took. There is a grade point average, you can't have below 2.0, and that's great because it encourages them to keep up their grades, especially some of the kids who might not normally. And then they just come, and we started this year having open labs, so they could come and just play the games and see if they were any good or if they even liked it, and they kept coming, so.
That's great.
And we pick our captains, so all the captains are students. They set up the matches with other teams, so they learn those communication skills. They have to reach out to the other school's captains and set up the match, set up the details. And they do that every week.
A little organizational.
Oh yeah, and then like with our Overwatch team, our captain for Overwatch, he has to decide the starting lineup, and then he has to kind of go through and sub people in, and he's been great about making sure everybody gets a spot and gets a turn.
That's great.
Yeah, it's super fun.
We want to see a live presentation.
It's right across the hall, so. Yeah. Any other?
Are they live streaming any of this yet? Or?
We tried to stream the one, and we had technical difficulties, and it never got off the ground. One of our hopeful goals is to get an extra laptop that we could then stream our matches. Have some students who are very interested in that. They have the know-how, and they want to do it.
So what team do we compete with that's furthest from here? Like Cleveland team or Cincinnati?
Yeah, we played against Ashland, and that was a pretty close one, like close match. This week we play, I have that, because I didn't forget, we play Marymount JV tomorrow in Overwatch, which that's down around Cincinnati. We play Convoy Crestview, which is where I used to teach, so I'm excited to see that one. And then we play Port Clinton on Wednesday as well.
It's just terrific.
Oh yeah, and it's great. The kids are making friends all over the state when we play these games. Yeah.
Do you have the, does that take, I mean, that's a good deal of internet. Have you had any issues with speed or anything like that?
No, not in our lab. We set up our lab specifically on a stage because we have
Ethernet connection.
So we haven't had any issues other than that first week with our switch, and we just had to kind of adjust some settings.
So what's the name of the game you kept saying?
We play Overwatch, Rocket League, and Smash Brothers.
What's over?
Overwatch is like a laser tag, capture the flag, depending on what round you're playing. So some of them are like capture the flag, you have to try to defend your point. Some of them it's like laser tag, they run around trying to get each other.
Thank you, Tess.
So how did you get interested in this? Are you a gamer?
I played some video games when I was in high school, but also my brother always did, my dad always did, and I just knew that there would be an interest in it, and always cultivated it. And honestly, these games, I played Smash Brothers, but I didn't play the other two, so like when it comes to coaching, it's more so just picking the captain, and the captain takes a lot of that responsibility. Yeah, it is, it's great, because they learn to communicate, and that teamwork comes in.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, I'd say it tongue in cheek that it's my favorite, but this is going to come as a shock. I was not a great athlete in high school. I know, you're thinking, no, that can't be. But if you would have put me on a Smash Brothers team, that would have been my chance at a varsity letter. And so, if you ever open it up to Madden, I'm coming in. I'm going to sub in, I'll take an adjunct class, and coming in.
Sounds great. We'll take it. That's, I think, we have an image of Mr. Metz in there in the play somewhere. There he is.
Was that Overwatch, Mr. Metz? Just
I couldn't tell you what.
That was Smash
You can see him say, what is this?
Yeah. All right.
That's great. I think it's awesome, and it really does offer an opportunity for kids. The number one thing kids want to be right now is a YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
It's no longer a professional athlete. The number two thing is a professional video game player.
Yep,
So,
they make good money.
yep, so I think the generation above ours thinks video games, it's like kids no longer say I want to be the next great NFL player, they want to be the next ninja and play sports professionally, or esports.
Yep.
So.
Very true. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chaz.
Yeah, I'm glad we're doing that, and like I said, any way we can get kids that are different skill set, different interest set, and all of the administrators know and teachers know, they're going home and playing video games. That's what they want to do. So getting them in an opportunity to do it with their peers, do it in a positive environment, and have some competition in there. So, well, at this time, I want to keep our agenda moving. Annie and Trustee CEA, did you guys have anything?
Yeah, we do.
Please.
Good evening. We think we have great schools, great students, great teachers. We wanted to highlight a couple of the buildings and some things that they're doing to help our community out. Our TriStar building, they have construction students have been finishing their house for the Lots for Soldiers. There's an open house on it on May 2nd. The construction students have been helping build the cabins at the Hand Up Village located just outside of Celina. They have nearly 100 students on early job placement working at local employers, with another 30 doing job shadowing and capstone projects. Their med prep students who qualify will be going out on observations, job shadowing visits for the next 3 weeks. And the TriStar students that have earned more industry credentials this year than any other previous year and are still working on more. Their construction built picnic tables for all of the buildings. So if you see some picnic tables out, that was built by the TriStar construction students. The high school, they have a coffee shop called Spike's Place. Seems to be a popular thing. We have not gotten it at our building yet, Mr. Metz, just so you know.
It's very good.
Both the students and the teachers are enjoying the ability to grab a cup of coffee before school or between classes if teachers allow it. They have one student who comes in to school early just so that he can work extra before school. Spike's Place has been an excellent way to teach entry-level employability skills such as money counting, customer service, stocking, ordering, following directions, and cleaning standards. They have prom coming up May 7th at Romer's. They have the promenade is 5:30 at the field house on that day. Graduation looks like it's going to be on May 23rd at 4 p.m. They have the spring sports are all in session, which we're thankful for because we were unsure whether this Thursday night, the Celina girls softball team will be having the annual military night at Jim Hess Field. The ceremonies begin at 4:30 and they're welcoming all veterans to that. The high school musical, The Little Mermaid, had its first weekend of performances. It's an amazing performance with a lot of great talent. If you have not gotten a chance to check it out, go check it out, it's really good. The middle school is preparing for their Relay for Life. They have, many of the students have participated in various fundraisers to meet their goal of $10,000, and at that point they've already met the goal of $10,000. And as Ann Esselstein would say, do what's expected and then do some more.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they're doing for the middle school relay. I'll let you do the intermediate school.
All right, so for the intermediate school, we had our spring musical in March. Mrs. Brodigan put that on with mostly 6th graders and a few 5th graders to fill in some spots, so that was a great hit. We had an assembly on Friday, Attaboy. It was a virtual assembly to kind of kick off with testing beginning tomorrow. We had that as a motivational speaker. It was really cool. They did musical performances and then talked about ways to make good decisions. And then at the end, they came on live and teachers could type in the chat questions to ask the actual band members and they responded to us and stuff. So it was kind of an interactive thing for that. On that same day, we did do in the afternoon a gum day, so we were able to raise $397 for the Mercer County Cancer Society, so we did that. We're moving forward.
Very good.
And then the elementary school. All of our students in 3rd and 4th grade just received trees to plant throughout their community. Our students sold over 1,800 butter braids to support our school. And we have field trips coming up for our students. In March, we raised money for our Hero Squad, which is formerly known as Pennies for Patients. Our school had a goal of $1,500 and we raised $4,856.18. This was the highest amount in the 7 years that we have done this. Half of the money went to the Cancer Association of Mercer County and the other half went to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. The primary school, the 2nd graders are all going to be walking to the Ed Complex to see The Little Mermaid on April 22nd. They had kindergarten screening for the 21-22 school year. Said they screened over 150 new little kindergartners ready to join the primary school and become bulldogs. The 1st graders are going to be going on a trip to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo on April 28th and 30th. They're super excited to also be taking along Mrs. Dawn Adams' class, the ELL class of newcomers. Spike's, another thing they told us, Spike's Cafe has been delivering to them on Thursdays and they love it. And Mileage Club has started. The children can earn a token for their Mileage Club necklaces every time they run or walk a mile. The 2nd graders are working hard to get 25 miles in. They received the Mrs. Goss Award for walking or running 25 miles to place on their necklace. And that necklace follows them through to 4th grade, so we have lots of positive things going on in our schools.
Now for Gum Day, were they allowed to participate by chewing gum at school?
Yep, and actually, Mrs. Adams, the student council advisor, actually got gum for them. So if students didn't have gum to supply, if they paid their $1, they were able to, she gave them some gum. Which was good because sometimes our kids don't always have the opportunity to run to Dollar General or the grocery store to get the gum, so she had it for them, so it was great.
Excellent.
I just want to say thank you guys. I had a person reach out. I know I'm on the school board. This is from a different district I used to live in, and they said, how did you guys get back in school? What we pulled off this year, and I mean we, feels like it was impossible. And one of the things I was able to say is because at the end of the day, our teachers went and did the best job they could. So none of what you just said, Toledo Public Schools, where I used to live, started back today full time.
Oh, wow.
And so to just put that into perspective for our parents, we're talking about a year's worth of what educators have done with our students. So I just want to say thank you because we hopefully put together a plan and we did our best to try and make things as safe as possible. But if the CEA members and OC members wouldn't have gone to work those days in September and October and November and onward, we wouldn't have had that as a district. So just thank you. As a parent of a 2nd grader, thank you, because our kids have done much, much better in the classroom. We can't duplicate, I can't as a parent duplicate what y'all do in the classroom. That's why you were so invaluable. So just thank you. As districts around this state still battle to open up, I don't want to take for granted what you guys did just because we're hopefully coasting into the finish line here in just a few more weeks. So just thank you.
Thank you.
And we know that it wasn't easy.
It was not.
We do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we have any other perception? Anyone on the side? Okay. Sorry. Was there anyone else? Okay, at this time we'll move to the approval of the consensus agenda, and I would entertain a motion as such.
So moved.
I heard Ms. Voorhees first, and then I'll go Mr. Stone.
Hesitate.
Okay, Tom, whenever you're ready.
Okay, the first thing I'm asking you to approve the minutes of the March 15th regular meeting and the March 26th special board meeting. Asking you to approve the March 2021 financial summary report showing revenues of about $4.53 million and expenditures of about $3.59 million. Asking you to approve the investment control report for March 2021, the balance of $13.89 million. I'm asking you to approve the SM2 report for March 2021. Also approve the checks written for March 2021 at $2.98 million. Ask you to accept the following donations. $500 from C&M Farms for the Celina Ffa Banquet. $500 from the Mercer County Cattlemen's Association for the Celina FFA. $500 from the People's Bank Company for the Celina FFA. $600 from Brims Construction for the TriStar Construction Jackets. $500 from Layfield Industrial Welding for the TriStar Construction Jackets. $875 from Miller's Funeral Home, and $700 from Tom Langer for a monument to honor veterans, and this will be placed by the flagpole at TriStar. Item 7, approved supplemental appropriations as follows, and this is just to complete the ESSER 2 funds, adding $483,421.47. Item 8 is to approve a contract with Hometown Ticketing Incorporated to provide an online ticketing system. And the final item I have is to approve a change for the 21 years of age summer help pay from $9.75 per hour to $10.50 per hour, effective May 1st, 2021.
I'll draw the board's attention to number 7. Those are ESSER 2 funds. We still have not been told what we will get in the ESSER 3 funds, so even though that was passed and signed a while back, we have not been told what we're getting. So we're just now appropriating the 2 funds, so I know we've all been kind of wondering what that will be. We do not have that information yet. In the hometown ticketing, that'll be an opportunity for anyone to go on and buy a football ticket, basketball ticket, volleyball ticket online versus having to do it at the gate. So, Tom, you said almost all the schools around here?
WBL, all the other WBL schools already use this.
Wonderful. So kind of playing catch up, and it'll be nice for people coming in too that might just want to buy their ticket beforehand. Any other questions for Tom?
If I could, because we had the 3 FFA donations and we just had the FFA banquet this past week, I don't know, Mrs. Voorhees was in attendance, Mr. Metz as well. I don't know if they had any comments in respect to the FFA and what that program's doing.
Let Mr. Metz take that.
Well, I think the numbers are going to speak for themselves. We're tripling in size between this year and next year. So the banquet was just outstanding. It was far better than what I ever would have guessed after 1 year of existence here at Celina. So a lot of compliments from the community in as well. So
What's our enrollment at the high school? It's going to be getting well over 10% of the high school participating in FFA next year.
You're making me do math. Yes.
I mean, that's a tremendous percentage.
Yes.
Yeah,
we had about 40 in the program this year and looking around 120 for next year.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
Thank you, Mr. Metz.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Tom? Okay, Dr. Ken, the classified report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Black. First, we're asking you to approve the following substitutes for the remainder of this school year: John Dorner, Taylor Fisher, and Tom Mullenkamp. And we're asking you to approve a 60-day probationary contract for Savannah Roberts, family advocate for Head Start. Also asking you to approve to hire Alan Bills. He has now completed his 60-day probationary period as a Celina City bus driver. Numbers 4 and 5 are both deduct day requests for 1 day from Dawn Gable and Jackie Greger. Next, we have a change of contract for Betty Steinbrunner going back to the start of the year. Actually, her hours changed from 7.5 hours to 8 hours. Number 7, asking you to approve a change of contract. Randy Kramer, who split his time between the transportation office and maintenance, will now be full-time, taking over the head mechanic position out at the bus garage. He has completed his 30-day probation. And we're asking you to accept the resignation of Nancy Benchover, cafeteria worker over at the primary building.
Any questions for Dr. Ken on the classified report?
Moving on to the certified then, we have 6 new substitutes to approve. Angela Gasser, Margaret Houts, Katie Howder, Hannah Razorbier, Madison Holman, and Leah Wilburn. We're asking you to approve a 1-year contract. Our new art teacher at the middle school for next year will be Braylon Bader. Asking you to accept the resignation of Emily Schiavone. The .4 that she had speech and language over at IC. We lost our speech person at the beginning of the year. Emily really just wanted to be part-time, but she stepped up to the plate and decided to go full-time, so cover that position. So hats off to Emily. We appreciate her willing to do that for us this year. So she'll go back to just being the .6 speech and language at the elementary school. Then we're asking you to approve a change of contract for Michelle Miller. She's requesting 1 deduct day. And then we have the 1-year teaching contracts for Annette Elbers, Shelby Apple, Brian Hess, Taylor Hesse, Hope Ruenkamp, Emily Schiavone, Heather Arling, Adriana Beavers, Ben Warder, Emily Brodigan, Allison Darris, Rachel Eichenauer, Mike Eilerman, Mindy Gonzalez, Olivia Graber, John James, Adam Johns, Jerry Conan, Jamie Leffel, Ashley Lochtefeld, Brett McGilvery, Ken Platfoot, Teresa Rhodes, Katie Rodriguez, Mackenzie Schlepp, Mindy Schmidtmeyer, Aaron Schmidt, Mike Seibert, Emily Selhorst, Laura Simons, Brenda Speck, Haley Thomas, and Adam Timmerman. Next, we have the 3-year contracts that we're asking your approval for Nick Archer, Brett Bacher, Kelsey Clem, Tyler Folks, Megan Hiley, Ethan Knopp, Jennifer Smith, Matt Toby, and Eric Wasty. Number 7, we're asking you to approve the resignation of Ian Darris. He was going to be a half-time JV girls soccer coach. So that changes the contract then of Kent Wicker. He was also half-time, but now he'll be the full-time JV girls soccer coach for next school year. Also for Pupil Activity Program, Madison Klein. We're asking your approval for her to be the assistant girls tennis coach. And then the following volunteers: Ian Darris for boys soccer, Craig Carey for middle school football. And then we're asking you to approve the following volunteers for this school year yet: Jason King for track. The following individuals are all listed there for summer enrichment positions. And we also have 4 subs listed that we're asking your approval for. And then also personnel for the 2021 high school, middle school, summer school. We have those 5 individuals listed.
Dr. Ken, do you want to describe what the summer enrichment program is for those who would be unaware?
It's actually going to last the entire summer. Looking at Vaughn and Phil. It is Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yes. So we have a morning program, and what's going to be new this year also, we are offering an afternoon program. So if parents would like their children to stay more like the entire day, there is that possibility that they can sign up. So we'll have those sheets going home, free breakfast, free lunch, possibility of a free snack in the afternoon as well. So we have those opportunities. What the afternoon session is going to be is more a hands-on STEM type learning. So should be very interesting for those that are interested. We're thinking making it a full day program could actually increase the interest. The other piece, Deb Schroyer, not here right now, but she has shared that the free breakfast, free lunches will continue through the month of September.
Dr. Ken?
Yes?
Will the students or their parents be allowed to choose between morning and afternoon in the summer enrichment? Or is it a take part of it, all of it type situation?
They can either do the morning or the morning and the afternoon. They cannot just do the afternoon. Part of that is due to transportation. So transportation is offered for those who do live a mile, yes, 1 mile away from the high school. So the summer school is offered at the Celina High School.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So parents will be getting a notice home soon about that?
Correct, yes. Teachers will be sending those home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Dr. Penn there?
I have one regarding this summer enrichment program. We've got, I don't know, 20 teachers it looks like there. Do we have any idea what the enrollment's going to be like as far as elementary students?
Chad, I don't know if we can guess going back a couple of years. I think it's been around 150 students in the past. So perhaps now adding the afternoon, hopefully we'll get that up to closer to 200.
And also the free breakfast, free lunch programs going through September, so that it's possible maybe next year as well?
That is a possibility. We are waiting to hear word on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Dr. Penn on the classified report? Certified report, excuse me.
I think maybe I misspoke or gave some misleading information. When I was talking 150 participants, I'm talking more the K to 6 students. So the 7-12 students I think would be added on top of that. Mr. Metz, are we around 50 perhaps?
Yeah, I would say that's probably.
Okay, so that would make that total then up to about 200, and then possibly with the afternoon, maybe grow that to even 250 students.
So at the high school level, can they get high school credit for attending the enrichment? It's not like summer school.
Sorry, that's a remedial program.
Gotcha.
That's somebody that may need to pick up a credit, and they'll do an online program for 3 weeks. That's just for the month of June.
Okay.
So that's still traditional summer
Yes.
school. Any other questions? Okay, we've got some resolutions.
Resolutions first, we're asking you to approve Taylor Hemmelgarden added to the class of 2021 graduates, providing all requirements are met. So looking at her records, she is a junior, but is looking to do the early graduation as she has completed everything that she needs for graduation. We're asking you for number 2 to approve the literacy coach job description. And I'll add with that we have had 17 applicants. So those interviews are taking place this week.
Any idea when those decisions will be made, or just 17's a lot to interview, so probably when you get through them, or?
Very possibly by the end of next week. We should have that, and may have a special board meeting to approve if we have any outside folks that we need to approve.
Okay.
Number 3, we're asking approval for the West Central Ohio Regional Healthcare Alliance to do bus driver and van driver physicals for the 2021-2022 school year. At a cost of $52 each. I think that's the same cost that they were charging this past year. Moving on to the TriStar item, we're asking you to approve to hire Ken Plattfoot as an adult education teacher at TriStar as needed. The Head Start report is here as attachment number 5. Amy Esser is here as well, if you would have any questions for Amy in respect to that Head Start report.
Amy, do you have any highlights for us, or anything that looked fairly typical, is what I would say?
No. We're
Had
good to
some
go.
fun activities in the building with the Week of the Young Child.
Yeah, that was, take this down. Last week was the National Association for the Education of Young Children recognizes a week in April for early childhood education. So we had a host of activities to just acknowledge that week. We do it every year annually. And Jonathan actually came and did some filming. So once that video is ready to go, we'll put that out there on our Facebook.
Do we have any items from the board for removal of the consensus agenda? Hearing none, let's call the roll on the approval.
Mrs. Voorhees?
I have to abstain.
Oh, is there do you want to back up to
Do you need to remove
remove something from the consensus?
If we could just pull one name off of item 12.
Yep.
Okay, Jill Harris, please.
Yes, we can. So we are going to be removing Jill Harris from item 12 under the certified report. We'll be removing that from the consensus agenda. Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Steinbrunner again, please.
Start over. Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Sell?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Yes.
Mr. Flack?
Yes. Then I would entertain a motion for Jill Harris for the approval of the 21 Summer Enrichment Program.
Motion.
Second.
I have Mr. Huber and Mr. Sell. We'll go to a vote on that.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Sell?
Yes.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees?
That's when I abstain.
There you go.
And Mr. Flack?
Yes. Great. This was my item to add on here, the city liaison. As president, I can add a liaison position. We don't have to do anything formally. I've talked with each of you individually about doing this, but this liaison will, myself and Dr. Ken, will just meet with the city officials quarterly, just to keep relationships good between us and the city, to make sure they know what we're doing, we know what they're doing, and just if any projects are coming up or anything like that. So it's truly just a communication piece, but it's making sure that someone's on top of it. It sounds like Dr. Ken and myself might go over to, or before or after a city council meeting, 3-4 times a year, just as needed, just to try and keep in good communication with the city administration.
That's a good idea.
So nothing formal that needs to take place, but just wanted to, and then we can evaluate that if we want to make it a formalized position, we can. As of right now, it's just simple enough to inform the board that we'll be making that a liaison position, and we'll see how it goes. But I think anytime we can communicate well with the city, that's a win for the city, it's a win for the school board, so. Dr. Ken, informational items.
Under the informational items, we do have the celebration of life for Dan Otten coming up on July 24th this summer. And that will be from noon till 4 out at the CHS track. Now, those of us who knew Dan, certainly a great individual. The family has certainly stepped up. They have already donated over $200,000 towards the purchase of a new track facility. So if the levy passes, we will blend that right along in with the levy funds to come up with a new track. They have also been raising money for scholarship funds in Dan's name. I know they are over $42,000 already that has been collected, donated for the Dan Otten Scholarship Fund. So talking and speaking with the family, I'm aware that Dan was a collector and he honored students on an annual basis. He had many things in his house, pictures, memorabilia. So he would really like, the family would really like people to come out to the track. They don't want to hang on to all that. They would like to share that back with those students, share that, also hear stories about Dan. So again, that's July 24th from noon to 4 out at the high school track.
Is that more of an open house type deal, or is that something people should arrive promptly for? Or
An open house, so 4 hours of time there to come and go.
There'll be a lot of people there.
You'll be running wind sprints, Mr. Sun?
Yeah.
In Mr. Otten's memory?
I'm gonna do some distance running.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay, now we have the first reading of board policies and guidelines. These are recommended to us by the state to keep the district in line with law. Ken, any comments on that?
No, they're pretty much set forward as different laws are enacted. We need to respond to those. We do work, of course, with Neola, go through those policies to make sure they're, keep us, up to date in regards to that legal aspect.
So if you're wondering at home, we are not going to take the time to read through all of these policies, but you can take that time. If you go onto the celinaschools.org, click on Board of Education and then Board Information. On the left-hand side, you'll see the Neola recommended policy updates. Click on that, and that will take you to the policy updates. You can go through and you can grab our agenda, which shows, again, the policies that are being updated. You're not going to find much to it. Again, that's just keeping the district in line with law. These are all recommended to us. We aren't making any recommendations. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
But certainly anyone who reads that has questions, please don't hesitate to contact myself.
I know I had questions reading it, so feel free to reach out, but anytime we're not reading these policies at home, I think some might think, well, why aren't you choosing to do that? Because it would take another 2 hours of reading legal language, and that is not how we're going to spend our time. And I don't think anyone would care to watch that. And so, but that is all public information and available to the public at any time. Great. Anything else, Dr. Ken, Tom, or board?
We're good.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.